Hi, good morning. It's Sam here. Welcome to Tuesday morning. um, I'm here to show you where I'm getting to with this wonky book, this crazy wonky book, which I'm really enjoying. So I was in two minds about the cover, whether it was going to work, and I think I've got a solution. So one of the things I wanted to do was reuse some ideas from a journal I made back in November, and I'd done this kind of torn sort of flip inside, which I really liked. So what I've done is, let me take these clips off for a minute so I can show you. So I haven't collaged the second one yet. Oh yeah, I've got my paper clips hooked in the fabric, which is annoying. Okay, so I've got this one that is going to be hinged here. So I've collaged it, then stitched a hinge on, and that will go there like this. And then this one will be collaged, and there's its hinge, and flip out there like this, and then under there, I don't know what there will be. Pocket maybe, something, even maybe a shallow one so you can pop stuff in there and then shut it in. So then I have to think about closure. I'm wondering whether I want to put some kind of Velcro or magnets on these two to keep them down, or the other alternative of course would be to make the closure come from here or across the lot. So I made some snippet roll, as you can see, and I use the Knit with Booksmith method, where you kind of lay out your strips in rows and stitch them onto a piece of backing fabric, and then you cut that into strips in the opposite direction and sew them together. So I made several strips of 5 centimetre, and then I made some 10 centimetre from the same piece. So I just cut 2 different sizes. So I'll show you the 10 centimetre in a minute, but with this 5 centimetre, I'm wondering whether if we attach it here somehow, once this is down, and then it comes around, and then you could either do sort of 2 wraps and a tuck through, which I like, stitched like that, or you could have some other kind of closure, maybe a button, and sew a buttonhole in there. I don't know, I'm not sure, but I'm going to ponder that. I think I want some sort of large label here maybe. I'm not entirely sure. And then, so there's that and that. So then I've added, what have I added since I saw you last? So I wanted some torn pockets. So this is Pepin Press paper. Hang on, I'm just trying to grab the book it came from. So Pepin, they're wrapping paper books. So these are all folded into 4. I've got several of them. I think they're rollable kind of worldwide. They certainly are in the US and in the UK. Don't know about anywhere else, sorry. But on Amazon. I think they're a French company. This is the floral engravings. Some of them have a mixture of matte and shiny paper with sort of metallic elements, which I'm not so keen on, but the texture of this is totally matte, sort of creamy. It's not super strong. So anyway, when I use this, so it folds out into a big sheet. Oh, I'm so sorry, I hit the camera again. and it folds out into a big sheet. These are bigger than A4 or letter size each quarter, so you do get a big piece. And I wanted to add a bit more vintage pattern into here because I'm trying to mix up the mixed media and the vintage together, if I can successfully. So yeah, I've got a few of these books. They're really lovely. And this Flora Engravings one is yummy. There you go, look, lovely paper. But I need to use the paper and not just look at the lovely paper or put the lovely paper in a cupboard and forget about it. So that's part of my mission at the moment. So yeah, I pulled this piece because I thought that the colours worked. You've got this sort of burgundy-ish red. It's not exact, but it's good enough to sort of tone in with it all. So, oh, excuse me, I'm yawning. So this was a bit of stained file folder. I just did some very random stamping on there, and then it's got this this corner tuck, and then I've got these torn off pieces left over, which I'm thinking about what I'm going to do with. None of that's changed. Oh, this is entertaining. So in my last video, I was collaging this piece, which I then went back and did all the stitching on. And I'd been playing around with this offcut, and I'd put it here because it was going to be a belly band. But in my great wisdom, I started sewing it with the belly band sort of, I glued it down before I'd done the sewing on the other side, which was just, you know, total brain fart territory. So yeah, that's now a decorative piece of fabric sewn down. And then, so from the wide 10cm collage roll, I've cut these two pieces. So this is going to be a fabric pocket, tuck pocket along here. And on, let's get this one out. And on the other side, so I need to decide whether I want to put something behind across here, and then stitch this down. And I've started doing some really loose slow stitching on there, and that's like tea stained cotton thread, quite thick cotton thread. I think it's crochet, or it might even be, no, it's crochet cotton, but I've tea stained it. So you get a little bit of variation of tone in it. I've done some French knots down here that you can't really see, but they make a nice texture. So I'm just going to carry on working on those two, and I've got enough of this snippet roll to make at least another 2 pockets if I want to, or something else. So that needs finishing and work. So those are going to be slow time. There's the back of that one with its stitching. And what else have we got? I think I've pulled the other bits out. So I'm thinking with these offcuts here that I want to maybe do that with them. And then when you've got things in those pockets there, you may not need any more decoration, or not too much more. Now I know what's missing for the rest of my book, that's why. I've got nothing else to show you. There we go, here it is. So this piece of paper, I don't like the Payne's grey in there anymore, so I'm either going to change that page or go over it. And here, now where's the other one of these? So this one I haven't done, this is the one I have done. So these mixed media pages, I've just made the tuck into it, pocket into a tuck, the fold over into a pocket, the pocket into a tuck, I don't know. I did glue it lightly, and then I used, I've got this, can you see, little hole punch, and I made the holes, and then I just stitched through it with string. So I've got another one of those to do now. It's pretty straightforward. I've managed to get a really nice needle with a really nice big eye. And I could get this sort of string through it. I've left it quite long because I didn't want to have to thread the needle more than once, because it wasn't the easiest to thread, but I did get it through. And then I just go along with this and make, can you see? Let's go here. Make a row of holes. This is all rough and imprecise, so it doesn't really, you know, matter too much. And then you have to do a little bit of wiggling to get the needle and the two bits of thread through to begin with. So I just really randomly, without much method to it. So you could do whatever you wanted. You could do a running stitch along here. You could do a blanket stitch along the edge. I am just, so I'm purposely not knotting the thread so I can do that, because I want the bits to go off the end. So I am just going to do like an overcast whip stitch along the way, please. I'm not really being disorganised. Oh dear. It's a good job I've tidied up and I've only got one project's worth of stuff out in the room, because I tell you, just this one project's worth of stuff is a lot. Because I just keep collecting things or making papers, or I don't know. Yeah, the box is getting bigger. I'm going to need to shake down. So I'm just going to go through each of these. Don't pull too hard because you'll tear the paper. So you just, you know, I've got glue under here, so it will stay down. So this is as much, well, no, it does reinforce the structure, the structure of the pocket, but yeah, it's for shabby decoration. Shabby decoration. Then once I get to the end, I'm just going to do a knot. So go back through, make a loop and pull my thread through. And then what I want to do is just be a little bit gentle here. So I'm just going to sort of pull the knot against itself rather than kind of ripping the paper. And then I'm going to leave a little tail which will undo itself in time, or you can unfray them up and like this. So yeah, and trim them down more later. So there we go, and I need to do the other side. So we had a couple of really bright, sunnier, warmer days. It's definitely colder and duller again today. We're on what, the 2nd of March, I think. Yeah, I'm hoping my son will be able to go back to school in the next couple of weeks, which will be really nice for him, although it's going to be weird, I think, for all of them. Excuse me, sip of coffee. That might be a sense of normality here, but they've said sort of the earliest things will be back to normal, you know, in terms of pubs and hospitality and things like that, is like the middle of June. So yeah, it's still a way to go here. I've had my first vaccine a couple of weeks ago, which I'm really pleased about. It's because I cut the string so long, because I didn't want to have to keep threading the needle. yeah, so it's still very much locked down here. Not a lot, nothing to do, nowhere to go. And that doesn't bother me particularly, but for the rest of the family it's hard. Yeah. So what else have I been doing? Not a lot. Watching a lot of YouTube. Watching a lot of people making a lot of things, which is just my lovely comfort. My virtual crafting friends, some of whom don't even know me, or don't know who I am at all. Isn't it funny when we watch people that, when then, you know, the people who chat and talk about themselves, and you feel kind of, you know, you feel that you know them even though you've never met and they don't necessarily have a clue who you are. It's a very weird sensation. Yes, so yeah, I love watching other people on YouTube and going down rabbit holes of different techniques, different art styles. I had a huge back in the, I suppose it would have been last autumn, I got quite obsessed with encaustic painting, and was watching quite a lot of the encaustic people I could find on YouTube, and yeah, went down that rabbit hole and got some very basic stuff just to have a little go. Man, it's harder than it looks. I don't know whether I'd also bought like not very good wax, because it didn't seem to go very far and it didn't seem to do what I wanted it to do. So there we go. We've just got like a shabby little pocket thing there, and I'm in a bit of a quandary as to whether I want to do something to every page, or whether I'll leave some pages pretty blank and grungy. So like this stained mixed media page, I think is okay like that. This, however, I don't know. I think it's a bit stark on that side where I've brushed the coffee. I'm not sure. I shall have to ponder that a bit longer. I also think I may have too many pages. This pocket page, this sort of fabric and paper sandwich, I've sewed down just into 2 pockets there. And on the front panel here that I showed you, this, where I made the what's it called? Collage roll. Is it collage roll? Scrappy trim? What is it called? Snippet roll. Snippet roll. Collage roll is the paper version. Snippet roll, and where I had, you know, just a little bit over at the end, even that piece, I've just stuck down over here like that. So quite a few bits and pieces still to do. As ever, I haven't even thought about ephemera. So I printed this digital image, which you saw maybe me use before, but I've scaled it right up. I've removed all the backgrounds and turned it into a PNG, and then I've laid it over this scan of my jelly print. So I'm thinking I want to make sort of a centre page. So for the middle of the signature, I'd like that to be like an image, and in terms of this being maybe a more finished piece of art that I make in the middle of the book, perhaps, I don't know. So I'm kind of regretting punching this edge already, because it would have been easier to paint it than punch it. But I think I need to lay some paint down on this to try and grungy it up a bit. So I've just got some neutrals for now. So I've got burnt umber, I've got pale umber. This is a really nice neutral to use. I've got buff titanium in the Perrier. And I got my brayer. So I wanted to see what we can do. So let me just grab, oops, avalanche. Let me move that across. Hold on, that's better. Okay, so I've just grabbed my jelly plate to use as a palette. Because it's nearby and it's easy. So, let's just get some colour going. Okay, let's just add a bit of this to this straight away to get a medium tone. Oh no, paint crisis. Paint bogies. Right, need cloth. Okay, so I am going to mix those two on the plate, but I don't need to mix them perfectly, so a bit of variegation is not a bad thing. So I'm going off the edges so I get those tabby bits. So my worktop here is stuff that they use for kitchen countertops, for mica, and I just looked for an offcut on eBay. So lots of people sell them, you know, people who fit kitchens, you know, there's often a bit left over at the end. So I've just got an offcut, and I've just, it doesn't always lay down completely. Yeah, no, it's got a bit of a bend here towards the front, which isn't ideal, and it's just taped at the sides. If I glued it all down, it would be better, but it's very durable, it wipes clean, it wasn't expensive, and I can just, you know, get a little kitchen sponge, the green bit, if necessary, and some hot soapy water, and that does it basically. So I'm just doing the same again with the burnt sienna and the raw sienna, or the pale, no, burnt, no, it's not, none of it's sienna, it's umber, burnt and pale umber. Whoops, I can still smell the coffee on these papers as I put the paint on. It's kicking up the slightly stale coffee smell. Again, I don't like it, but I needed that. I'll have to play with sort of liquid paint, I think, to get that effect without using the coffee, because I'm not sure I want to. Okay, so there's one layer. And then let's put the raw sienna. Why do I keep calling it that? It's not raw sienna, it's pale umber. Oh, my brain. I've even got the words are facing me. I can see them in front of my eyes, and I'm not saying it. And a bit of the Titan Buff, just for the kicks. Oh, it's a lot of paint. Right, let's just go lightly. Okay. I'm just brayering pretty randomly. Nice organic background on here. Yeah, I should have done the other thing first. Never mind, I'll show you in a minute. Okay. Okay, so we've got some kind of texture on there, that's good. I need to pick up that paint. Although actually that journal page I wanted to change, the one with the pen spray on it, here it is. Let's put you somewhere. Oh no, no room. There it is. Right, okay. Just see if I can start improving that. That's already better. I'm already much more happy with that. So let's just use this paint up in here. Okay. Well, that's already an improvement, isn't it? So the other thing I wanted to do was just, I want to be able to stain this. I don't know whether I'm going to cut it out, tear it out, but I want to, it's an inkjet print, so whilst I quite often like and embrace the sort of ink runoff, just cleaning this a bit, the ink runoff thing right now, I want to just make sure that that print isn't gonna dissolve on me, as I want it to be like a focal point. Sorry, I am literally just pulling the last of the paint. See, all of that's still on the plate. The last of the paint off the jelly plate, so I can get some, she says, some matte medium on them. Where it is? Oh, no, I see it. I have no idea why it's over there, but it is. No, at least I could see it. Right, so I'm just getting a little bit of matte medium on my plate, and I want to roll it out until I've got a nice sort of smooth coating on my roller. Right, okay, I don't want to muck around, so I'm going to do a pass over there. Now you can see my brayer wasn't completely clean. It has picked up some of the pigment that was on the thing plate, and that's fine because it's just a glaze, it's transparent. Yeah, now that was a really, really thin layer. But you can see there's a layer of matte, slightly tinted matte medium over that inkjet print. And then I can go more. If you ever watch Robin McClendon, who does, she's an amazing artist. She's got a lot of content on YouTube. She has content on Teachable, and on Instagram her account is called Rare Birds, and she does a lot of jelly printing. She also does a lot of scanning of her prints and reusing and glazing the prints. Either, well, I've done that with a brayer, but she does hers on the jelly plate, and she uses transparent metallics a lot of the time to glaze over in sort of pale colours, and they look really beautiful, but they're not necessarily I don't necessarily want the metallic all the time. I like kind of bronze and copper as accents, but I don't want shiny all over. It's like I've used some metallic paint in this. One of the mossy greens is metallic, and I really like that. But I didn't want to make something that was shiny all over, so I've glazed with transparent mediums, so matte medium or gloss medium just straight over as a sealer. This gives a little glaze, picking up the colour from the plate, and I've done that also deliberately by adding distress ink to my matte medium, rolling it out on a jelly plate, and either on jelly printing then straight on to the printout to get a cover. The other thing you can use to do that is mixing white, which is zinc white paint, I think, and it's transparent. It doesn't have that white opaque pigment, so it glazes, but it gives a sort of slightly blurred out. Anyway, if you have a play, you get different effects with the different paints. Maybe if this is nearly dry and I want to just put another layer on it, I'll maybe show you what it looks like with the mixing white, if I can grab one easily. Okay, so this is mixing white. So basically, if you use normal white with any colour, you're going to end up with a pastel shade because of the opacity of the white. So this is a transparent white. Let's try a little bit of this on here. So I'm just working with small amounts and in thin layers. So let's have a look. Here we go. So I could have done that straight on the jelly plate, but I didn't. There, so you've got, it's subtle, so you can see, it's subtle, but yeah, gives a different effect. And then now, because that's sealed with paint, I can go back in there with distress ink and so on, and my image should be preserved. Right, let's just clean off my plate. Put it away. And grab this back in. But it'll do. Right, so that's a better start than I had before. I'm wondering whether I want a tear now. Let's have a go. I can print it again if I don't like it. So yeah, let's fussy tear that out. So I hope everybody's well and surviving whatever form of this pandemic is taking in your own country. It's a long haul. It certainly is. Yeah, it's hard going, I think, for a lot of people. But I think we just need to be really patient and wait until it's done, because if we're not, and we all start, everybody starts racing out there, we're just going to be back at square one if we're not careful. Although we won't be at square one because, you know, lots of people are being vaccinated, which is good, but it's still an issue. Alright, let's just tear the top for now. I quite like it like that. Let's get some of this too much white, and then I think we need ink. Lots and lots of ink. Let's just get that straight out of there. There we go. Okie dokie. Where is... That's my frayed burlap. Frayed burlap. Sorry. Let's see how this is going to look. So yeah, I'm just going to play with some kind of composition for this centre of this book. Something nice and pretty. Hello.
Oh, sorry, you're recording?
I am recording.
I actually brought a cork in earlier and chewed it up and left it all over the sofa. Just started to leave.
Thank you for sharing. You didn't catch that. That was my husband telling me that the dog found a cork this morning and has chewed it up all over the sofa. He is working from home today, which is rare that he gets to do that. Although, as I think I've said before, it does make the house quite busy and full and crowded with 4 adult-sized people and a mad dog chewing cork and leaving it in bits all over the sofa. That's lovely. Yeah, so I definitely want to get some ink in some of these bits and just darken things up again, bearing in mind that I'm using oxide, so it's not transparent. So if I go too much, I'm gonna, but I did already kind of, you know, obscure that image a bit with the white glaze. Okay. Right, I quite like that now. Kind of wishing I'd done this on paper and not on card, but hey ho, that's the way. So I don't really know what's going to happen now with this. So what have we got? Or do we like it on there? Do we want a bit of that behind it? It's the right colour. Let's tear some. Let's just tear down. Tear down. And then I might have to rummage for more paper. See, I've got this, but I don't know. I don't want to use any of that. I have more of those. I have more of this, which I've used elsewhere. Quick look. That's the piece that I was just spraying. That's part of the signature. I expect that's still quite brown. There's the wallpaper I've been using. Wrong colour. It's a bit of tea bag paper. Is there any more of that stamping in the green? More of a saddle brown. I can't find that. Oh, I'd forgotten this as well. Okay, we'll try with that. Might need some book page or something. Oh, I've forgotten. I might have to find a way of using this beautiful mossy green trim that I got. It's really nice. Right, a bit more coffee. I'm trying to see how long I've been recording. 40 minutes. Oh my goodness. It's probably quite enough, isn't it? I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this now. I think I need to think about it a bit longer. So we have this. So that's quite nice behind. That works. Just trying to think, you know, how I might lay out some elements. These were the torn off bits where I made the wonky pages. I've just like randomly jelly printed them. And I'm rather, you know, enjoying having all those. Here's another piece. Just grungy sort of clean up print. And of course the mixed media paper picks up from the jelly print like a dream. So I've got those, and then I could do some more subtle layering with the tea bag paper, perhaps. So this I buy it in sheets, and then you can stain it as dark or as light as you want. That's from an actual tea bag. So yeah, I can do some layering with these different tones for that, and have a think. So yeah, some kind of centre page, but it's going to take me a while to decide on that, I think. So at that point, I will say goodbye. I hope you've enjoyed this little review of progress and moving on with a couple of tasks. I will need to make sort of cards and ephemera for this. I'm going to need to make some kind of clusters, but everything needs to be a bit bigger because it's a big journal. So one of the things that I'm having to concentrate on a little bit is scale, and making things look right in this larger size journal rather than some of the teeny tiny stuff that will go in the others. So if you are interested in hearing me witter on some more about this experimental creative process, and you want to come on back and see how this journal progresses, I'd be really, really pleased to see you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.